Uh, you ever play Destiny?
Like once. But not that far in.
Okay,
I
well, you
know
know the
nothing.
sparrows? You know the sparrow
Mm-hmm.
bikes that you can get from
Yeah, yeah.
Destiny? She's gonna get one of those,
Oh
but
my gosh, yeah.
guess why it's so good at flying? It's because her magic broom's inside of it. She's gonna use her magic broom.
Oh
She's
my
gonna use the
god.
magic broom one from Destiny.
That's incredible.
So
That's
basically,
pretty
just think of a
good.
magic broom, but with like bike handlebars and shit like that for driving.
I've seen some designs like that. It's super cute.
Yeah, that's what she's gonna be doing at some point. She's got to work on it though. That's what she's spending her money on.
Markus really bad, like so badly wants to get a broom because he was a witch for the last Halloween thing, right? He was an undead witch.
Mm-hmm.
Really funny combo. And he had the broom. He'd always just monkey bar on the broom. It was so
Yeah.
funny.
Oh god, what if she get she gets Marcus handlebars and attachments?
Oh my
That way he
goodness.
could just like ride on the side of it or just like ride up behind.
Yeah, he did the whole thing where he like sits on it like this. It's like, this is funny. I like this. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
Uh,
She's like, careful, Marcus, we're gonna have to do a spin. Hold on.
Gosh.
Honestly, I think you'd love it.
Just double checking my. I think I've got some charge. If my microphone suddenly dies, oops,
Yep,
I can
it's
switch
fine.
it.
Alright, you're go on in.
I'm ready.
This place is so cozy. Oh, it smells so nice in here too.
Yeah.
It's a rather
I don't like
cozy
how many
place.
windows there are. And I don't got a good seat where I can see all the windows and doors. That sucks a little bit.
Do you want privacy?
Oh, no. It's more just. It's a habit. I like to find the best place to sit.
Understandable.
Yeah. I mean,
Let me know if
these
it ever
couches are
bothers
pretty
you
nice.
more.
They got different food here. I was having a smoke break and I said, "This ever be a bit longer?" They understood.
Well, it is near closing hours, but it stays open pretty long, so it's probably catching in between shifts. I've never been to a place like this. It's interesting.
Oh yeah, it's a bit surreal, I'll say that much. I mean... When I look at the time this style kind of came around on Earth, heck, it was only like a couple decades from when I was born, technically. Now, different worlds, different timelines, whatever. But
it's wonderful how they try to kind of keep certain time periods in style. Actually, before too long, I might have the opportunity to bring some of my friends over to my world, actually, to go to a tavern that one of my other friends owns.
Ooh,
Oh,
tavern.
Lindsay. She's like my bestie. She owns a tavern now, and I'm so excited for her.
Well, I don't know who Lindsay is, but give him my best appreciation and stuff like that because going to another world, same thing. I got my own cafe now. I hope Lindsay's bar works well.
Oh, I know.
You know?
It's so darling, by the way.
So from one person starting up to another, I hope it all goes well.
I have to take you there sometime. But
honestly,
right?
gotta give Lindsay. You know what? If they're just starting up, gotta take.
I'll be sure to take you. Ah, yeah, that happened, didn't it? Mm-hmm.
Oh, I knew the fucks to try to silence me. I got it. Alright. I forgot what you heard or what I said, but I was gonna say, you know what? Next time I see you, I'll make sure to package some little parfait things or whatever else we got at the cafe. It's like a little trade gift, you know? It's like, here, one startup business soon up. That's some of the cafe's finest goods.
I was told that Kisei had a client that did need some of the services and help, and I was actually sent my way in terms of recommendation. It turns out to be you, before I even got the number of the name.
Kisei?
MMR, honey. MMR.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what was it. I asked Cupcake about
redheaded. Someone's looking out for you, apparently. I can go into the specifics since you're a client. So long as you don't mind it, of course.
Yeah. Like I said, that issue in particular is a lot more public at times, so.
Well, your privacy is still maintained. Public happenings are not. Which is why I didn't get a name yet.
Good to know the word spread.
Yes. It's basically a zombie walk state with a large smile on their face. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's me. That's me.
Yep.
Unless there's some other unlucky person.
Now, how about we actually get into it, honey? What's going on? What's the symptoms?
Here's the thing, I don't know. I don't know. What was it? I think it was Thursday. I was in the middle of serving someone coffee. And then the next thing I knew, I was being held in a vice grip by Cupcake, who was trying their best not to dig his claws into me.
And you were a lot harder to restrain than normal, I'm assuming.
Apparently always a bit difficult to restrain.
Do you hear about the rumors that it came with a zombie state? How a lot of the times we're not using the full capacity of our bodies would allow, mostly because the tolerances of pain and things that would help hinder stress, stamina. Well, zombie states oftentimes allow for you to use the full extent of your body's capability to complete whatever singular objective or mindset that it moves you towards, which means at that point everyone was holding back 100% Markus, which is a lot harder to restrain.
Yeah, because it's not the first time it's happened. Definitely had conversations about that in particular. I had some constraints and stuff like that for when I was dealing with it terribly, quite terribly. The only thing I worry about is the toll it has on not just me because I do get sore. I may be laying there trying to prevent the sleepwalking, but my body, if it's trying to get up and it doesn't understand it, I could unconsciously hurt myself. And then, well, there's definitely the emotional toll. Not on me, but my partner.
On everyone else, your partners, your friends, anyone who worries. I understand. I wish I could give you a lot more immediate answers, but a sleepwalking state like this takes time to figure out, but it's not impossible, and I do have some alternatives to help make it safer in the meantime.
I thought I had
some of these
solved it. Like I said, we went into my dreams. I thought we found it. The people there, they knew what they were doing. I trusted them. And then we found a place that we were meant to go, and once I got to the place, one way or another, it was like that scratching in my head just disappeared. I don't have the scratch in my head. It's just a sleepwalking now. Heck, even that wasn't happening.
Have you considered that your body and your mind might have adapted to having it being there? And it's trying to create something else in its absence?
I sincerely hope not.
Well, first things first. A different synopsis state while you were under the sleepwalk condition. Is there anything else before you take into these stages that you can consider or no? A bad night's sleep, an inconsistency in your sleep cycle in and of itself, bad dreams, mental stress, anything you can think of that might help bring out these kind of conditions.
It almost seems random, but I noticed I was stressed or I have that kind of lack of sleep. Not necessarily lack of energy, just mentally exhausted.
When your mental fortitude breaks down...
Sorry. Times that it's happened recently, I'm either waking up from... I thought I went to sleep, like a normal sleeping, you know? Or, the last 2 times it's happened, I was just daydreaming. Kind of on autopilot already, kind of deal. Serving that person their coffee, they asked for what they asked for last time. I'm just going through with the motions, and then next thing I know, I'm not handing coffee to someone. And then today, I was just resting on Felix's shoulder. Then
so we can
I went
identify that the tiring state of sleep is probably a trigger, but I don't think it's the cause.
I feel like it's random.
I don't think it's as random as we'd like to think. Again, you're sleeping, the times when you get tired, when you doze off into this state. That can be random, but the cause of it certainly isn't. That's not what I think anyway.
It's happened a lot recently, and it just happened to be my birthday yesterday.
I heard about the whole birthday thing. Apologies and happy late birthday.
Thank you.
I'm gonna help.
Happened around my birthday.
But what I will say is I'm gonna help in any way I can. I'm gonna give you some temporary measures to help ensure both your safety as well as your relief upon others. I'm going to give you some bindings. These are not going to be uncomfortable, but they are going to be sturdy, which means you will have to have someone else assist you in unbinding yourself when it comes time. Okay? Make sure you have a safety buddy, and I'm going to give someone else the trigger for this as well, just in case you can't activate it yourself. You need to tell me who you trust for this trigger. I'm going to assume Felix, but I need to know, just in case he's not there, who else you may trust. You are hanging around the most.
Suppose there's maybe like 2 other people that I trust with something like that right now. Cupcake ain't around too much, but you don't hesitate to make an action that might help, this and that. I trust him that way. They don't fuck around. My neighbor, I suppose there's another person. I trust Asmo to at least be aware, to show concern, and he's familiar with the situation. So we don't need too much educating on that now. And another neighbor in the area is Suzume. But they're a bad person, and
only
their
gonna
bones
give
are
2
a bit
triggers.
hollow. So
I don't want any of these triggers falling into the wrong hands. I trust Felix to hold on to it like his life depends on it. And I need you to choose another person for this trigger. Okay? It's going to be a button on a small device. It will send a ping, which will activate the thing to help restrain you. I need somebody you know full well will not lose this item.
Suzume.
Okay. The next thing is actually solving the issue itself. Mind delving, I know people who can do it. It's also not exactly the most safe of arts, and it's definitely not something I want to use as an immediate resolve. But sleepwalking has different measures, and this is definitely more than your standard sleepwalking. I consider it sleep psychosis to an extent. So, if there's any more information you can give me, do let me know full length. Anything that might be of a correlation, history, events, potential resignations to it.
I don't have any proper receipts for these things. All I have is my hearsay. And even to an extent, I definitely don't consider myself a reliable narrator of my own life right now.
Okay.
I can
that being the case, we'll also
tell you what I have experienced at least, and that could still be clues, right? But I know for a fact there's some things that I experienced earlier on in my life that I know I'm not remembering properly, and I can't put my finger on.
It's not a 1-to-1. Okay, I understand.
That's the context I'd put there, so it could still be helpful, right? But I definitely don't think it's...
I'm gonna go over what I do for standard sleepwalk situations and see if that helps. I don't believe that will be the end-all be-all for this condition, okay? But it may help. And it may help keep things there. Stress, I believe, is still one of the causations of this. Mental stress, not physical. So for the time being, until you can let this set in, until we can properly get into a procedure where you're used to this, I want you to bar yourself from anything stressful. Any stressful zones, don't intervene yourself. Move away from it if you can. I know, I hate it. But we need to actually make sure that your mental state is being tended to, first and foremost. Because clearly, you are stressed, not only just from this, but other situations too.
every time it happened, that's when Rio was... Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I was stressed out of my mind there too, but it was like I didn't feel stressed. I was stressed.
How do I best put this? When your mind hasn't had a proper recovery period from a stressful or traumatic event, it keeps it until it does recover. And when you pile in more, it becomes easier and easier and easier for your mind to go from regular to stressed immediately, even at a blink at some points. Because it's
I don't
still
even
piling
remember
in
the
more
time properly.
stresses.
It was the other Sunday. I was just standing in the rip and shit
So,
clinic, and I saw Riel appear just out of thin air in front of me, splattered on the ground. Barely alive.
so there's 3 things I'm going to prescribe you. 1, an immediate designation of those constraints, as well as the proper owners for the triggers of them. Number 2, some body relieving medication, effectively. These will be muscle stress reducants. This will help kind of ease the tension away of your shoulders and your bone structure and muscles. So that way that sleep comes at an easier rate. In order for your mind to actually recover, regular scheduled sleep may have to start happening as an immediate impact. Okay? This won't necessarily help with the main issue of sleepwalking, but this will make it easier for you to actually sleep. That's the hope. It's not going to be 100%. We'd have to test it. And number 3, we're going to put you through a crash course of actual mental recovery. Okay? That means at least maybe once every 1 or 2 weeks, you're going to have a meeting with me. Me, you, and Felix, we're going to go out and do a fun event. We're going to actually start doing stuff that will take the stress away from that mind of yours. Okay? And we'll end it off with a meeting to help kind of track your recovery.
Fair enough. There was definitely an elephant in the room. And that's the kind of work I do at the Ripple Ship. I recently got back onto the job. And the circumstances of me working there again is, well, I'm one of the only traditional surgeons actually available. I don't
Is
mind
there
saying
no
it to
way we
you.
could put off at least 2 weeks of leave from there?
I'm not sure. But if it's something
I
that
understand.
I don't mind if you have to talk to someone else about on my behalf. You have the proper judgment being able to say it from your perspective, not my stressed ass perspective. And I'm definitely biased with the fact that, well, I want to be there. If you say I should be having some leave, then they'll just have to make do. I don't want to have a
I'll tell
scenario
them
where
the next time.
it's so stressful I blank out in the theater. That hasn't happened. It's when I lose focus. I am focused at work, but I don't want to risk.
Yes. I agree. It only takes one bad day for your your sense of immediate point of exhaustion to change that. So this is what I'll say. I'm going to give them... You can still work through this early period. I'll say this much. I don't think we're at a state where that'll happen immediately. And we're going to start working it. But I'm going to tell them that they're going to have to start finding a new surgeon. Not to replace you, but to allow you leave time. So you can actually get things handled. And I'm going to employ the dangers of having an overworked surgeon to do so. Is that okay?
That's fine with me. perfectly fine.
In this case, I will be directly acting as your doctor. I already am technically for the MMR, but I will need full permissions from your doctor to establish this for you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For now,
Previously,
I think
was
this is the best we're
seeing-
gonna do until we can get some answers.
Previously, I was seeing Divalin. He was my psychiatrist, so he just prescribed me stuff.
Now,
Do you have
notice
his
how I said
contact? I
that
need to
the
contact
dream.
him.
It would be helpful to have a contact. One thing I'll definitely say, though, as I said, the dreamscape should not be an immediate solution, but it's not exactly going to be off the table. If this is a new relative itch coming into your mind, we can't exactly exclude that idea. Not in the least. So, for now, we're going to see if these conditions work. I'm going to do further research, perhaps even have to dig further into your biology amongst everything else. We're going to have to do a full-length investigation, okay?
I have some investigating.
Something
I
tells
was
me
to-
that it's not as simple as sleepwalking. I don't know what it is, but something tells me that.
I'm pretty sure I know what's going on, but I have no solid evidence. All I have is me assuming that I ain't comfortable sharing my assumptions, I suppose.
That's fine. So then, how about this? While we're taking this some time to actually fight back against the symptoms, we're buying you time to both take it easy, but also work an investigation for yourself. It's time you started to figure yourself out a little bit, huh? And I don't mean that in the bad way. It's time for you to go on a sense of discovery.
I have different bits of paper and other things like that from the place that I was led to that got rid of the original itch, so to speak.
Would it be permitted for me to take a look?
Yeah, I had it packed with me just in case. It's a bit old kind of paper, so handle it with care.
She's going to take out a folder. Notably, contact of your information, actually, amongst it, which is you can recognize to be your folder. I'm going to gently slide. Fold. Okay. There we go. Would it be okay if I took these home to take a look? I don't know how comfortable I am with potential accidents happening here for me to look at it.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, there's a lot more security in places like that. I also have, I have different things like alarm scrolls that I've done alarm spells, things like that. So I know how to use some things like that. If you got anything, any use for those, I'll know where I should put them.
In terms of spells and things like that, I mostly directly actually protect the folders that I hold my clients' information and donations in. But in terms of anything else, would you want an alarm or no alarm for when your thing is activated to alert other people?
I suppose if it activates, I'm not too sure. I had the alarm scroll for if I left without taking the scroll off or something. That would be a surefire way to know that I'm either sleepwalking out of there and not removing it before triggering my own alarm. I'm not sure if that's like the best way to
I feel it's fair to let you know the restraints go in the form of a big bracelet on this side, and a neck bracelet as well. Don't worry. Nothing that is not going to do anything besides restrict, if that's okay. If you're not comfortable with the neck one, I can easily just turn it into a belt.
I think I'd be fine with the neck one. Just,
Okay.
it's a little bit sensitive. So if there's something a little bit softer pattern, that'd be
Unfortunately, we have to do it at least somewhere within the mid part of the body because it needs to connect to some semblance of the middle.
Yeah. So,
This is the fully restrict. So, would you like for me to give you a procedure as to how it will restrain you ahead of time?
honestly though, yeah, that's something I'm a bit nervous about.
All right, let me
because,
stand up to
I don't
kind
want
of
anyone
give you
to
a
get
little bit.
hurt. Should I
So-
say?
If you want to. I'm gonna do it more or less upon me. So, the
Mhm.
bracelets hold very high main metal wires within them. So, what it happens is they connect together like this and then pull you in kind of like this and then
Oh,
wrap around you at the center. It will hold and restrain you like this in this
not like a
position.
magical hug tie. Okay.
Actually, it's more mechanical than anything else. I had artificers work on it.
Artifice.
When my daughters were growing up, they were rowdy. And every now and again, in order to make sure that they didn't harm anyone else or myself, I had to make sure that proper procedures were maintained to help deal with some of the more aggressive issues. Mm-hmm. Admittedly, though, this is the bad part. It's going to take me at least a week to get that. If you're okay with waiting the week.
I do still
I
have
know.
some of my own restraints and stuff from when it was being a bit of a problem. So,
Well,
I
number
should be
one,
fine
I
for
have to
now.
actually size it to you. We don't want it actually being it too small or too big. You'll slip out or you'll be a bit too constricted. So I have to
Oh,
fit it to
jeez.
you. Which means, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna need your measurements.
That's perfectly fine. I was. You need them like now?
Okay. If you want, I can just take you home and we can do it there. If you're
Yeah,
okay
sure.
with it.
Do that in the comfort of the house and whatnot.
Your privacy is my top priority.
I appreciate it.
Of course. Otherwise, though, yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do for the procedure now until both more results or more information comes out. Okay? I know
Oh,
this seems pretty scary.
yeah, it is.
Trust
Oh,
me.
Meetings like
is.
this makes it feel a lot better.
Take it from somebody who didn't know how their own body worked until they had to research it themselves. It's not easy, and it's definitely a very, very scary thing. But you're not alone. You've got plenty of help to go with it. And even if immediate solutions aren't here now, we got temporary ones. And if it is just the trick of the mind from being overstressed, you got plenty of friends here to help you. Friends who care enough, who will want you to live a happy and a healthy life. I'm here to make sure, alongside Felix, that it's going to be the happy part too.
I really do hope it's just some chick with the mind left over. I know before it wasn't.
Well, that's why I'm here, to prepare for if it isn't. And to make it all the more tolerable for if that's the case. Don't worry, Marcus. We're gonna solve this. And I know you're dedicated enough to learning about this as well to figure it out. You just gotta give it time. And thankfully, time is my job to give you.
Thank you.
Of course.
I never thought I'd be dealing with this kind of thing. I'm a tough guy. I thought my
Well,
challenge would probably be some kind of fist fight and I bit off too much. You know? Not this kind of thing. I guess it makes sense. I
That
don't know
happens
much about this stuff.
far more often than you think. Oftentimes, it's not the physical challenges that catch up with us first, it's the mental ones.
Mhm.
Mm.
Guess I can just laugh at the irony of it. Well, I don't even know if irony is the right
Admittedly,
word.
there's one other thing that I'm unfortunately going to have to entail with this. And one that I am not a pleasure to take. The constraints, they're not exactly cheap. I'm gonna foot the bill on this one, but I am gonna have to have you pay me back over time at some point. I want to test and make sure they work for us before you pay a single thing. If they don't, I'm not gonna charge you at all.
Alright. I was about to ask if there's any for. I don't mind putting on this.
Just something as durable as can be maintained. I think we need to go definitely as durable as my daughter. But there's also metals that are far more comfortable than others. And those are the ones I'm going to focus on. Durability with comfortability. Because you're going to be caught in it, and I don't want you to just have metal pressed against your skin completely all the time.
Oh, that would be a bit uncomfortable.
So,
But if it means that I'm not gonna hurt no one, then
well, why sacrifice one for the other when you can get both?
exactly.
But yeah, they're gonna take a minute to make to your measurements and size. And again, they're not exactly the cheapest things. Gosh, they're like, what? Probably I'd say 2,400 in Faerun. That's gold.
Damn, I was about to say I still got like 500 gold from when I was in Faerun.
Yeah. Thankfully,
I
it's
haven't
easier
used
for
it
me
for
to do an
anything
immediate
except
payment
for
and just have somebody pay me
as a
back.
defense weapon because it's so heavy.
Mm.
We have a bag of like 250 gold and two of them. They're great for defending yourself against giant lizards.
Yeah, I converted quite a bit of my gold to platinum once it got a little heavy.
Yeah, that's what I was intending to do. That's weird converted.
Well, either way. So, ready to head on out of here?
I think so. Thank you.
Okay.
It's been a good chat.
Of course. Well, how about we schedule your first hangout in 2 weeks?
Hey, that doesn't sound too bad.
Mm-hmm. I'll have planned it over with Felix.
Alright.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going
and
on
from
a stroll. Wait, no, did I call? I don't remember if that was the
You okay?
That one didn't work. I was going to call. I'm going taxi.
Kitty. That's a grade A cat. All right, you ready to see?
Selfish request. I would like to drive. I would like to be dropped.
Okay, works for me. Besides, I have to use teleportation from my mom, so you can go ahead and drive me.
Oh.
See? What?